Coming up today on Studio 13 Live.
Oh my God, that was unbelievable.
Mariners All-Stars showing up for their home crowd last night. What Julio Rodriguez has to say about the energy in the ballpark.
Plus, we're chatting with author Chelsea Fagan. Hear all about her new novel, A Perfect Vintage.
Then, the Edmonds in Bloom event is this weekend. We're meeting one of the artists painting live at the Gardens and learning how to paint some flowers ourselves.
And we're cooking up some fresh summer corn soup with the Lake House Bellevue and their James Beard Award-winning chef. Studio 13 Live starts right now.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make your day.
Hi friends, happy hump day. Thank you so much for being here with us. I'm Carly Henderson.
And I'm Mireya Garcia. You know, it was a memorable night for Seattle despite the American League falling to the National League 3-2 in the AllStar game. The Mariners' own George Kirby and Julio Rodriguez both making appearances in front of their home crowd.
Oh my God, that was unbelievable. That was an unbelievable feeling. And I would say we have had the playoff games and all that, but there was just something different of having like an event-based crowd, kind of to say it like that. And it was just unbelievable to have all the stars here and the energy that the fans brought. Like, it was unbelievable what they did, and Seattle definitely showed out.
It is the first time that the National League has won the All-Star game since 2012, if you can believe that. Even though the American League lost, I mean, what a cool experience for Seattle to host All-Star Week.
Yes, and you know what I love? You could tell that they were all having a good time.
Yeah.
However it landed, everyone was having a good time.
Yeah, this was a major week for Seattle, too. I was talking to the MLB Vice President of Global Affairs yesterday, and I was like, this has been so great for Seattle. Tell me we don't have to wait another 20-something years for it to happen again. So I put in a good word, but I know there's a lot of cities buying. I feel like Seattle knocked it out of the park.
Oh, absolutely agree there. And, you know, we're also waiting for another major event. Taylor Swift, who, you know, is just 2 weeks away from that Eras Tour stopping in Seattle for 2 nights, but she's set another record right now. Speak Now, Taylor's version has become the most streamed country album. I forgot it was a country album. Oh my gosh. You know, it's the most streamed in Spotify history when it was released on Friday. And, you know, that day, Speak Now, Taylor's version also broke a record for the most single day streams on Spotify so far in 2023. Speak Now is the 3rd album Taylor has re-released in order to be able to own the rights to her own music.
So cool. That really shows the power of the Swifties, right? And I feel like Taylor did these re-recordings as a matter of principle, right? She was like so upset about how the sale of her masters all went down. And so I feel like she really has been doing this on principle. She's gotten the Swifties so behind her. So for a previously released, you know, album to be setting records like this, I mean, the numbers don't lie, right?
Absolutely. We love Taylor. And I think the thing that is really exciting, too, is that this gives fans the opportunity to sort of relive these albums, these songs that were just so important to them. And also, you know, I've heard from different people, like some of them didn't like the re-release. Yeah. Some of them really loved it. But for me, I love seeing the growth, you know. It's more of a look back at your memories.
I love the vault tracks, too. That's been really fun to hear. And the collabs and all of that. Keeping the Taylor news rolling on in here. A high demand for Taylor Swift tickets in France sent Ticketmaster into a full stop. Again, this was not the first mishap involving Ticketmaster and Taylor Swift fans, as you might know, trying to get tickets for the Eras Tour. The platform posted online saying that the sale needed to be put on hold and it would keep fans posted. Ugh, how frustrating.
I have heard this story before, my friend.
And I didn't like the ending.
I know.
Yeah.
This is terrible. I mean, like, obviously, it's obviously not just happening in the States. This is happening at a worldwide stage now. Early on, we heard that Congress maybe was going to do something. I haven't really heard anything new. So I'm hoping that this is a little reminder to everyone that maybe we need to rethink the way Ticketmaster is working.
Yeah, maybe let's keep the investigating going because this isn't cool. That's so frustrating for everybody who waited hours to try to get tickets. I keep saying it, but the ticketing system needs a serious overhaul.
Absolutely. Well, we got to say it until it happens, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, but you know what? It seems like a very good time to let you know that Studio 13 Live. I love this picture, Carly. Look at Tay Tay
so
there
great.
with us.
She's hanging out with us.
Yes. Okay. So we're giving away a pair of tickets to the Taylor Swift Eras Tour. 2 tickets for July 23rd show at Lumen Field. All you got to do is watch Studio 13 Live all next week, which you would do anyway, right? You look at the secret code word during the show. Obviously, the more you watch, the more chances you have to win. And we would just be enchanted to be able to send you to her concert. So cool.
Yeah, this is great too. As we both know, these tickets are not cheap. I think collectively we spent over $1,000, maybe over $1,100 or something like that for these tickets. So this is a pretty exciting thing that Studio 13 Live is doing.
Absolutely.
So, can't wait to give them away to you.
And I heard B-Max saying that he just checked today, and the cheapest ticket is $1,500.
Oh, that makes me sick.
He's found, like one little baby ticket. Wow.
Yeah.
Watch the show, win the tickets, you're golden, right? Hey, so Britney Spears is getting ready to tell her story in her own words. She's releasing a memoir in October. She's calling it The Woman in Me. Spears landed a massive publishing deal for this tell-all last February, which we have already talked about. Now we have a little more clarity. You know, this book is coming, or it was written just a few months after the end of her 13-year conservatorship. Wild, my goodness. Okay, so the book's publisher, Simon & Schuster's Gallery Books, calls this memoir a brave story about freedom, fame, and motherhood and survival. It's already available for pre-order. Avi, I'm gonna read it.
Oh, I'm absolutely gonna read it too. We always say we need to have a book club. I feel like we're definitely gonna read it and discuss it. I read her very first memoir that she wrote with her mom called Heart to Heart way back in the day, which was kind of about, you know, her early upbringing in Louisiana and kind of how she like rose to fame and all of that. That was decades ago at this point. So I'm really looking forward to hearing this one. I really am curious like what she kind of held on to, whether it was like faith or a mantra or, you know, a vision of her future during this conservatorship, because I really want to know. A lot of us don't really know what she was thinking and what was happening during that time because she was so restricted. So I'm really looking forward to learning more about it, you know, when this book comes out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm curious about the tone of it too.
Yeah, because, you know, I mean, I think about what she went through and I think I would be just so angry.
Yeah.
And it feels like she's just, you know, ready to let go and live her life.
Yeah, definitely. Look forward to that one. The first trailer for Wonka, the prequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, dropped.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Gallery Gourmet, my name is Willy Wonka.
Timothée Chalamet plays a younger version of Willy Wonka, facing off against a group of chocolate makers trying to stop him. You'll recognize several actors in this film, including Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa. Surprise of my life right there. Wonka hits theaters on December 15th. This was just not on my 2023 bingo card.
It wasn't.
Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa.
No.
But it looks like he really commits to it.
You know, I get it. But I'm interested in seeing, you know, Timothée Chalamet take on this role. I never really pegged him as this guy, but, you know, I'm sure he's going to knock it out of the park.
Well, what I thought when I was watching the trailers, like, you know those actors that kind of always play themselves? Like, I'm not going to name any names here. We all know those people, right? Timothée Chalamet is the opposite of that. Just like the little nuances and the little, just like mannerisms that he takes on as he plays Willy Wonka. It looks really good. I can't wait to see this. I feel like everyone's going to see this at Christmas with their families, right?
Perfect for Christmas.
Perfect
Absolutely.
For Christmas. Yeah. Coming up, experts are going to be stopping by to answer your law questions, including, should you have to pay back the money that your employer accidentally overpays you?
Oh, that's an interesting one. But first, the Auction of Washington Wines is hosting their biggest summer event. A look at how you can help Seattle Children's Hospital while you enjoy a little vino.
Yeah, I'm gonna make your day.
The Auction of Washington Wines is hosting their biggest event this summer at Chateau Ste. Michelle Winery in Woodinville, which we love.
Yes, we do. We've been there once or twice. So it's the Winemaker Picnic and Barrel Auction. It features more than 100 wines you can try, and of course, some delicious food as well, benefiting 3 very important organizations. And here to share all about it, Jamie Piha, the Executive Director of the Auction of Washington Wines. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, so much.
Good
Great
to be here. Yeah, so the Auction of Washington Wines hosts a lot of incredible events throughout this year. Yep. This is the largest and the most popular event on your calendar this summer. Tell us all about it and how many winemakers are going to be part of the event.
There's about 90 winemakers there.
Wow.
And there are hundreds of wines to taste. Don't taste them all, but there are hundreds of them.
You can take one sip, right?
There's Washington wine tasting bars throughout the field at Chateau Ste. Michelle. It's on August 11th. It's a Friday night, and it starts at 5 o'clock, goes till about 8:30. And there's all kinds of activities happening there as well. We have, I said the tasting bars, we also have wine games around the field. So there's the ring toss where you can, buy 3 rings, and if you hit a bottle, you get to take that home.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. And one of the really special features is that winemakers are actually wandering the field pouring wine into your glass. They're coming up to you and pouring wine in your glass, and so you get that one-on-one time with them that you don't normally get when you go into a tasting room sometimes. And so this way, you really get to meet the people who are making these fabulous products.
That's so cool.
Very fancy, too. Okay, so you actually brought some of the wines to give us a little preview. So what do we have?
Well, this is DeLille Cellars. You've probably heard of them. They've been around almost 25 years, so a lot of expertise in this bottle. This white wine is called Chaleur Blanc, and it is mostly Sauvignon Blanc mixed with Semillon. So it's just a lovely, crisp, but full-bodied white wine. Goes with all kinds of seafood, and it's just wonderful on its own as well. Would you like to taste?
Yes,
of course.
Please. You know what my trick is when I go to events where people are bringing around like food and things like that? I stand right by the door where they come out so I can get it first.
Yeah, and speaking of, actually, that is an excellent tip because there's going to be a little bit of food as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's delicious.
Really good. We have 9 restaurants there. There's stations throughout the field. We have Northwest Seafood from Ray's Boathouse. We have barbecue from Jack's Barbecue. We have communion with some soul food, trophy cupcakes, Fog Rose Atelier, who does gelato and ice cream. So it is like the best, most gourmet outdoor picnic you could possibly attend.
That sounds beautiful. Really classy.
It's so fun. It's so fun, yes.
And let's talk about the barrel auction, because that's happening at the same time.
Yes.
What is that money going towards?
So the money goes towards Seattle Children's Hospital, several different funds, uncompensated care, which is really the largest fund, which helps kids and families that whether they have the ability to pay or not, which is fabulous. They've been our partner for 36 years. Washington State University, go Cougs. We help the viticulture and enology program through research and supporting students. And then Vital Wines, which is, I've been a partner for a few years, and they're really all about health equity for vineyard workers. So we're in different segments through our fundraising, and it's important causes and helps both the industry and the community.
Yeah, that's beautiful to be able to do something like this and know that you're helping out in so many ways. Now, of course, as we've mentioned, this is your biggest event, but there also are a few other events. So what else is on the calendar?
Sure. Well, on the Thursday night, we have an event called Toast, which is an industry recognition event where we give out awards to industry icons and emerging leaders in the industry. And then you have picnic on Friday night, and we talked about the barrel auction. I just wanted to mention that there's 35 wineries participating in the barrel auction. And the bidding is really fun and lively, so don't miss that if you go to picnic. And then galas on Saturday night, and that's really our more formal event under the big tent on the grounds of Chateau Ste. Michelle. We have a winemaker is hosting each table there. So we have 60 winemakers participating in gala, and a lot of live auction items, including trips, a safari. We have a trip to Italy. We have all kinds of live lots, including engraved large format wine bottles, and just one-of-a-kind experiences you can't find anywhere else.
So exciting. Jamie, thank you so much for coming in and telling us all about that.
Thank you.
Yeah. We posted more info on the Auction of Washington Wines summer events up on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live. And hey, coming up next, it is the debut of Law or Nah, where two local experts stop by to answer your legal questions.
And still to come on Studio 13 Live, we're also chatting with author Chelsea Fagan here all about her new novel. It is a good one. It's called A Perfect Vintage.
I'm gonna make your
It is time for the debut of our new segment, Law or Nah.
Okay, so this is where we bring in some local lawyers to answer your questions about the law. And joining us today, Ken and Donnie with the Advocates Law Firm. So hello to you.
Hello.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you here, and I just love this segment. Okay, so for people who don't know, talk a little bit about the Advocates and the kinds of cases that you handle.
Sure, we're a personal injury firm. We serve the Pacific Northwest. We've been around for quite a while. We love what we do.
Excellent.
Sounds great. Okay, let's get into this first question. So this person says, quote, I was rear-ended 3 years ago. I have the insurance information for the other driver, but the pandemic happened and I got sidetracked and never filed a claim. I have a few chiropractor bills stemming from the accident. Is it too late for me to file a claim? Can I still get reimbursed for the medical bills? What do we think?
Yeah.
Wow, 3 years is the magic number. In a lot of cases in Washington, 3 years is kind of the deadline to go after someone who causes injuries or negligently. And so if it's just before 3 years, you've still got a little time left. If it's just after 3 years, then the time to go after the responsible party has come and gone.
Oh, so it's like zero chances if it's after 3 years.
Yeah, not zero, but very
Low.
Very
low. And then there's still other ways to get your bills paid. I mean, where you can go after your own insurance and have them pay the medical bills, so that it's not like you'd be completely out of luck after 3 years.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Or if you have health insurance, health insurance should kick in and help pay those bills. But I think the answer really is just call an attorney as soon as possible and make sure that you have your ducks in a row and that you're protected.
Yeah, I think the pandemic certainly kind of threw a wrench in all our lives, but you got to keep up with that important stuff, right? Okay, so we have the second question here that this one has all of us talking, okay? So this person says that their employer made an accounting error, ended up overpaying them $13K over 4 years. Oh my goodness. But now the company wants its money back, okay? They're talking about maybe taking out $500 a month from their paycheck or sending them an invoice. So is this legal? What can you do?
So they probably can't take the money back out of the employer's paycheck. That, I mean, there's rules that kick in that say how long they have and what the look back period is. It has to be a mistake. It has to be not frequent. And it sounds like this might have been frequent, and so it would probably get in the way of the employer saying, yeah, just give us the money back.
Interesting.
So it sounds like they're saying, the employer is saying, we were going to do this in hopes that you go along with it, but maybe you don't have to.
Right, yeah.
Could you just quit your job?
You could.
Yeah.
You might want to take a hard, long look at that. But you still want to be there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if you're feeling pressured, though, what should you do? Because maybe the policy, the law is one thing, but your job is thinking maybe they don't know, so they're going to pressure you a little bit.
Probably talk to a lawyer.
Yeah.
I would say get some legal advice, get somebody in your corner that knows what they're talking about. This question interests me because I think about it from the employer's perspective, which is, look, you have an opportunity here to really impress your employee and say, look, we made this mistake, it wasn't right, we didn't realize it, but you've been here for 4 years. We love you, we value you, and so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna work with you to figure out an amount that we can take that works for you, or we're just gonna let this slide and move forward and hopefully have an employee for life.
So if that did happen and they would let you, keep the money, do you think they would make you promise not to tell all your other coworkers, or do they legally have that right? How does that kind of work?
It's interesting. I think they cannot ask you to talk about your pay. I mean, what your pay rate is, you have the right to always talk about it with your coworkers.
Yeah.
It used to be that some places would say, hey, kind of keep, and in a practical sense, it makes sense to kind of keep your pay a little quiet because nothing good usually comes out of discussing what your coworker is getting paid. You're either going to feel bad or they're going to feel bad.
Right,
And,
right.
It's not going to be an uplifting thing.
Okay, but here's my question. So they said, okay, we'll eat the cost, but they don't owe you keeping that going, right? Like you can go back, now that they've figured out the mistake, you'll go back to your old rate and that's just what it is.
Most likely,
Yeah.
I would think.
I mean, maybe they'll just keep being nice and keep paying you. They're like, this is your new salary.
We could all wish that,
Yes,
couldn't we?
Yeah,
we
we
could.
sure could.
Donnie and Ken from the Advocates Law Firm, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's great to
having
be
you.
here.
Fun.
Yeah, the first of many of these great segments. We've posted a link to their firm on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
And still ahead, we are learning how to paint some peonies?
Peonies.
Peonies.
Yeah.
Peonies. I always get confused how to say the name of that flower. Let's see how painting it goes. We're meeting one of the painters featured in the Edmonds in Bloom event this weekend.
Okay, I hope we don't mess up, Carly, but I don't have high hopes for us, girl, okay? But next, joining us is an author that I just love, Chelsea Fagan. We're chatting about her new book, A Perfect Vintage, why it is so important for her to write something a little bit different. We'll be right back.
Hey, welcome back. You might know her as the head of the Financial Diet, helping women make better financial decisions. She's become a full-on social media influencer, truly helping her followers live better lives.
Yes, but Chelsea Fagan isn't letting just one thing define her. This woman now adds romance novelist to her long list of accomplishments. She's joining us today to chat about her wildly popular A Perfect Vintage. Hello.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes, you are talent, you are grace, girl. And you know, some people are calling this book the book of the summer. I had the chance to read an early copy. It is chef's kiss. It is so good. So I have to know, what drew you to the romance genre?
Well, I really enjoy reading it, and especially during the pandemic. It was just a wonderful way to escape my living room, especially because during the pandemic, my husband and I were separated for immigration reasons. So we spent a lot of the pandemic apart, and I was alone, and it was one of the best ways to feel like I was A, not in my living room, but also B, having a romantic adventure despite being totally alone.
Oh, I love that. Chelsea, I mean, you are just a whole vibe, showing the world that a woman is so many things. You can care about finances, you can be a good friend, you can have hobbies, you can have all these other passions. How was writing this book different than writing The Financial Diet?
You know, interestingly, I think writing about money and romance have quite a lot in common. Both of them, I think, are often very misrepresented, especially as it pertains to women and women's relationship to those things. And for me, I was inspired to start The Financial Diet when I wanted to start publicly talking about money and hold myself accountable to having a better relationship with it. And similarly, in writing romance, even writing love scenes, for example, it was something that's like money I was a little bit nervous about. And for me, anytime I'm a little bit nervous about doing something, that makes me want to do it even more.
Oh, I love
Good
that.
attitude.
Yeah, great attitude. Okay, so you are in the middle of a book tour right now, an international book tour, in fact. So your events are sold out. So this novel is really speaking to so many women. We have to know, what are some of your favorite reader interactions?
So it's always, of course, very charming when, you know, a woman will stand up and read a passage or a piece of dialogue that really resonated with her. But one of the things that I just really love seeing, you know, for me, I wanted this book to be very indulgent, very experiential. It's a lot about food. It's a lot about, you know, imagery and parties and clothes and, you know, dinners and all of that kind of thing. So a lot of the women who are reading it are intentionally saving it for a trip. And then they read it on vacation by a pool or a beach or in a nice hotel themselves. And seeing that always just warms my heart. I've even had women get parties together where they'll make a dinner party or they'll set out charcuterie and wine and things like that. And making the book experiential in that way, I think, is always just so wonderful.
That is wonderful. And there's a really fun twist in this novel. So it's a woman and a younger man that fall for each other in the beautiful French countryside. You know, we always see the older man with younger woman narrative. Why was it so important to you to explore something different?
Well, I mean, you just said it. We are inundated with older men and younger women. I mean, I'm sure you both know how common it is, for example, in Hollywood for leading men to be 20 plus years older than their leading women, and that's never challenged. You know, we saw Al Pacino just had a kid, I think at 82 the other day. Men sort of have no expiration date on being interesting, desirable, dynamic people, and women, I think, are repeatedly taught that their shelf life is very short. And I personally, years ago, made the choice to only follow women on social media over the age of 50, unless I know them personally or have a connection with them. And that really changed my life in terms of seeing the way these women are living well into, their 60s, 70s and beyond. And just seeing how much life has to offer for women at every stage of the process. So I wanted there to be a book that really celebrated a woman being desirable in part because she is older.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so one of the things I actually really love about this book, A Perfect Vintage, is that it's actually not just about romance or even the little bit of spice that we get in the book. There's also exploring and growing as an individual. We see that from multiple characters in the book. So tell us why that was so important to you. It feels very well-rounded.
Thank you. Well, a lot of people have actually referred to it as much as sort of a coming of age story for a 36-year-old woman as it is a love story, which I think is true. And there's also quite a bit about, female relationships between the protagonist and her best friend, who is also her cousin. And part of me wanted to really explore personal growth as a topic because I think, again, as it pertains to women, we often have an expectation that by a certain age, usually childbearing age, that women should sort of be fully formed. And then now, rather than working on themselves, it's all about taking care of other people and making other people the priority. So I really wanted the book to focus on all of these older female characters discovering and reinventing and improving upon themselves as individuals rather than constantly have them delay and defer their own growth and joy and pleasure for someone else.
Absolutely. And before we let you go, where can people find the book of the summer?
It's on sale many places throughout the country and the world. But if you want to find the best place for you to buy, just go to aperfectvintagebook.com. It has everything, including the playlist. You can buy the cover art. I have fine art prints of the cover art, which is an original oil painting by a lovely female artist. There's so much to the website. So just go there.
A really wonderful painting. Author and all-around baddie, Chelsea Fagan. Her book, A Perfect Vintage, is out now. And the audiobook, by the way, is in the works too. So we are very excited for that as well. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. That was a great conversation.
I know, right?
I love
so exciting.
her. Yeah. She's a great YouTube channel too.
Yes, she
great
does.
Videos on there. All right, let's keep talking about some topics here. So it's actually Disability Pride Month, and One Music Foundation is celebrating the launch of a new record label specifically for musicians with disabilities. So it's called Just Call Me By My Name, and there is currently an open call out for artist submissions nationwide. It was created by Daniel's Music Foundation, which started in 2006 after music helped 13-year-old Daniel Trush rehabilitate from a brain aneurysm. Wow. Now, the first genre-spanning record, Just Call Me By My Name, Volume 1, is set for July 21st.
The power of music is really just astonishing to me. Not only can it impact your whole mood, but it can really take you out of some dark places.
Absolutely. Yeah, I also, to be perfectly honest, is the first time ever hearing about Disability Pride Month. I think that's so important to have that representation, celebrating our differences. So this is awesome all around.
I love it. Okay, let's keep the music talk going here because huge acts like Harry Styles and Taylor Swift are causing what experts are calling tourflation.
What?
Oh boy. Okay, so economists say that big tours are adding to global inflation, and it's not just about the tickets, which we already know can get pricey. We're talking buying food, drinks, transportation, travel. And when those big names come to town, prices for things tend to go up. So where do you draw the line when it comes to the concert? I mean, I have to be honest, I definitely think about the price of the ticket, but I'm not really budgeting for everything else, and it can get pricey.
Yeah, even the merch can get really, really expensive at these concerts. I say spend what you're comfortable with spending, but don't try to take my joy away from going to concerts here. We are not blaming Taylor Swift and Harry Styles for the world economy right now. Come on.
And if anything, they've also been helping with local economies too.
Oh yeah, we have been talking about that, right? Yeah, bringing a lot of money to the different cities that they're going. I'm gonna focus on the positive here and keep enjoying the joy of a concert, all right? Mic drop. Okay, you've heard the expression, always a bridesmaid, never a bride, but a Florida woman is taking that to a whole other level. So Jen Glantz is a professional bridesmaid. She runs her own bridesmaid for hire business. And over the past 9 years, she says that she's been hired more than 100 times to be part of someone's wedding. She's in the photos and she puts her all into the wedding that she works.
Okay, I have questions.
Yeah.
So I love the business spirit here, but it also makes me a little sad. Why is she in so many weddings? Do the people not have other people in their lives?
I mean, probably not. Or some people get really specific about wanting to have a balanced like groom and bride side. So it could just be to have like a filler person.
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing this though. I feel like your wedding is your day. You should do it how you want. Maybe some people want it. So that's what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, you can even go without bridesmaids. I've had friends that have made the decision to do that at their wedding. I feel like I just hate the pressures of how a wedding has to have a certain way and you have to have completely even sides and all of that with it.
I get it.
You know?
I get it. I did have, so my wedding party was very small. It was 2 bridesmaids and 2 groomsmen. But you know, I had a wonderful time. So I think it's okay if you just have a few people. You know?
Yeah, you know what? It's your day. Do it how you want to do it.
All right, still to come, the Lake House Bellevue is sharing some of their summer soup recipes with fresh corn.
Yes, but first we are meeting one of the local artists featured in the Edmonds in Bloom garden tour this weekend. Grab your brushes because we're going to learn how to paint flowers coming up next.
I'm gonna make your day.
This Sunday, you can take a stroll through beautiful gardens while listening to some live music, watching local artists paint. You know, this is really amazing at this event in Edmonds in Bloom Garden Tour event. My goodness.
So cool. And today we're meeting one of the featured painters, Joanne Friedrichs. Hi, welcome.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I mean, I know hundreds of people come to this event every single year. It's all happening this Sunday. How many gardens are included in the tour and what's it like for people who haven't been there before?
There's going to be 12 beautiful gardens in Edmond, and it's really 6 stops. So you can do the whole thing in about 3 hours or so. And you get to see some private garden with some really great features. Some have sculpture, and the garden where I'll be in has a almost life-size chessboard.
Oh, fun!
Yeah. And then you can see the view from the Puget Sound view. There's going to be live music. It's very festive. There's 12 hosts in total.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a fun event. It helps fund basically Edmond in Bloom, and they're really a really good organization, nonprofit, all volunteer. So yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so you kind of shared with us a little bit where you're going to be, but do you know what you're going to paint yet?
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna go visit the garden actually tomorrow, but I saw pictures already, and I think I'm gonna do a view of the Puget Sound with there's some flower setting with the Puget Sound and some tall pine trees. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing.
I love how artists move their hands when they're describing what they're going to paint. It's so beautiful.
Oh, yeah. So you're going to be teaching us how to paint our own flowers today. Yeah. Where do we even start?
Oh, my gosh. Okay. So, so you have a couple of brush.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. By the way, this is acrylic paint. Dries really fast. So a big one and a smaller one. So we're going to start with the bigger one.
Okay.
It's got a nice rounded edge. So I pre-painted this nice peony here, and we're going to start with the petal. I don't know, right here. You know, yeah.
This
at the
one right
bottom there.
here,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So we're
okay.
gonna start with that, and you're gonna follow in a stroke like this. Just you can just like
up.
exercise
With
your
the
stroke.
okay.
And then what we're gonna do is gonna put that gray paint here.
Great.
Do we need to wet the brush or no?
You don't have.
Okay.
Okay, good, because I didn't.
Now, dear viewer, you may have noticed that a lot of this is pre-done for us.
Yeah, I feel like Joanne hooked us up and did like 90% of the
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, in 5 minutes we don't have.
Yes, of course, of course.
how long did it take you to do what we have here so far?
Oh, it's not that long. Each was about 15 minutes or so.
Oh, that's incredibly. This would be my life's work.
Yes.
If I did this.
Do we paint the whole petal spot gray?
Okay.
Yeah, paint it all gray. And
So
try to
just that one, right?
give it a swoop like this.
A little swoopy
Little
swoop.
swoop.
Okay.
Paint over these lines.
Ah, yes. Ah, yes, like I know what I'm talking
Ah,
about.
yes.
Ah, yes.
All right, as
Okay,
I go
I
on.
think I'm done. Any tips? Do I need to change anything?
Oh, yep, continue right here.
Oh, this one too.
Oh, the whole deal. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All of it in gray.
Just this one right here?
Yeah, and just leave, you can paint over the pink. Just leave a little bit of pink.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, swoop like this.
Oh, down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Because the way the paint dries, it'll kind of give it a little vibe,
Oh.
I'm guessing.
All the way over. Okay.
Yeah. One big stroke.
Let me cheat off you.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay. I think we got it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really good.
Cool.
All right. And next step, we're going to use the other brush.
Okay.
All right.
And we're going to add some highlights. As you can see on the picture,
Oh, yeah,
there's
that's
some
beautiful.
nice little white light around the rim of the flower.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And on a petal here. So
Yeah.
we're going to add that. This
Okay.
is going to make it pop.
Okay.
So just put a little bit of paint on your brush, not too
a lot,
much.
okay.
Okay.
Because we're going to use a dry brush effect
Oh, up top. Okay.
on top of all around the rim.
Okay.
All right.
I'm so nervous. My hands
Me
are
too.
shaking.
I'm
Okay.
just going to put it along the whole top part.
We have to know while we're painting, what got you into art this way?
Oh, I found some old art supply in the basement at my parents'.
What? Really?
Yeah. My mom took a painting class while she was pregnant with me.
Really?
And it sat in the basement for about 12 years. And I found it, and I asked my mom, I was like, can I use that? She says, go ahead and use it. And yeah, that's how I got into it. The supply were still good enough.
Wow.
That is so wild. And it's like she gave you the talent.
Yeah.
Well,
Go mom.
it's
Mom.
just a lot of practice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maria, did you get into any new hobbies when you were pregnant?
I listened to a lot of rap music and ate a lot of spicy Cheetos. I don't know that there's going to be any talent there.
Oh my gosh.
But my son does like spicy Cheetos now.
Is he into rap music yet?
Not yet. At 4, I think we're still doing Wheels on the Bus. You know?
Okay, cool. But I mean, Snoop Dogg makes those affirmations for kids, right?
True. I think I put too much white in there.
Oh, I feel like yours looks
Okay,
really
okay.
good and wispy.
Like wispy. Oh, light touch. Light touch. Okay, okay.
What about me? How am I doing?
Excellent.
Yeah, just lighter, light.
Lighter?
Whoops, maybe I actually.
We don't know
messed it up.
we don't know how to be light around here. It's a heavy hand.
Just like that?
Yeah, just light.
Not like
There's a
that?
little bit of light here. Let me see here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Little bits there.
Yeah, and we're gonna do inside the flower too. See, there's some light
Oh.
right there.
Like right there? Just little
Yep.
bits?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Little bits. Okay.
All right.
Just little bits.
And I know you have a studio in the new Graphite Arts Center, right?
I
Tell us about the
do.
center and what it's kind of like having your own
it's-
space there.
Yeah, it's so awesome. I'm very lucky. I have a great studio with big, tall windows, and Graphite has a common area where we can, we can work on really big painting, and it comes with a great community of something like 40 artists.
Wow.
So
if
many
you-
people.
If you want to come and check it out, there's several studios to see on Saturday. It's open from 12 to 4, and we also have a gallery that you can see. There's a lot to see, and there's good restaurant around it, and it's by the water, by the ferry dock. We're easy to find on Main Street. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'll be there this
Amazing.
Saturday.
All right, we're going to show off our
you what
work
we
here.
got. It's an incomplete project, but that's okay.
Here you go,
How do we do? How do we do? I think you
Pretty
did
good, right? Okay, the pretty parts, Joanne did. The rest of it was us.
Wasn't it?
Okay.
Not bad though.
I think it's pretty good.
Good enough to display at your desk.
I think so.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. It was so much fun.
Yeah, you're great at what you do.
So we posted more info on the Edmonds in Bloom event, and of course your beautiful artwork up on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live.
Yes, and still ahead, the Lake House Bellevue. They're showing us how to make their fresh summer corn soup. Yum.
Oh, yes, yum. And don't forget, if you missed anything from today's show, you can find it on the website. Just head over to fox13seattle.com/studio13live. Find it there. Look at that cute website.
I'm gonna make your day.
Hey, it's time for Emerald Eats, where we highlight amazing food in our area, and the Lake House Bellevue is showing us how to cook one of their delicious summer soups.
Yes, and we're getting put to work today, I hear. Okay, so we are joined today by Kevin Benner, the executive chef. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you.
Yes. All right, so how long has this dish been on the menu?
We usually start at July, and it'll go through the end of August, maybe into September, depending on how long we get fresh corn.
Okay,
Cool.
tell us all about the dish and what ingredients do we need?
Well, you don't need a lot of ingredients. Fresh corn is key. So right now, we're getting it from Eastern Washington, so if you go to farmers markets, you can probably start finding it now, or the grocery store should have it. And then you're going to use a little bit of canola oil, some salt, and then we have a corn stalk right here. So after you take the kernels off the cob, you can put the stalks in some water and just get it boiling, and that's our corn stalk.
Oh,
Interesting.
I never
Okay.
heard of corn
Yeah.
stalk.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to cooking.
All right, great. So we'll take the kernels off this ear of corn. I like to take a bowl and then a smaller bowl.
That's what I was going to say, because
Yeah.
it's usually very dangerous for me to do that.
Yeah.
We'll have you blend.
Yeah, thanks. Wow, okay.
Yeah. We'll put that in our stock.
Is that kind of like a vegetarian soup stock?
Yeah,
Perhaps?
yeah, vegan,
Okay.
vegetarian. Yeah, we can use it for a
Wonderful.
lot of different soup bases.
Cool.
Excellent.
What's next?
So next we're going to get the corn kernels in the blender.
Okay.
I'll reach over and then we'll do this.
I love a
Does
Vitamix.
anybody, would you like to put the corn in there?
Sure.
Yeah.
Happy to. Just with my
You'll
hands?
have to probably
Yeah,
hold that
dump it in
bowl,
there.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
How many people does it take?
I feel like I'm just gonna like spill it everywhere.
No, you're
Okay.
Perfect.
There we go.
beautiful.
That's
All right, and then I will put the stock in there.
Oh, you pour the stock in there. You don't have to let it cool down or anything first?
Nope, hot is better for the soup.
Oh, okay.
Excellent. Okay, but it is a plastic blender, right? So that's probably cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
works
maybe
good.
not glass.
And then we can do our canola oil.
Wonderful. Is this going to be a hot soup then?
Yep.
Obviously.
Yeah.
You can probably enjoy it cold.
Okay.
As a gazpacho, maybe.
I
This is
love
some
this
salt.
mound of salt.
I
You,
know.
you have to salt soups.
A lot,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah,
Yes.
more than you think.
Okay,
Okay.
and then blender.
This thing is enormous. Do I
It
like
is.
mash it?
Yeah, let's mash it.
Okay.
And we'll turn the blender on. And we're gonna turn it way up.
All right, was that all right?
It's perfect.
Do I get a James Beard Award?
You do. Yeah. I'm handing them out today.
All righty.
And that is corn soup.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the simplicity of it, but
Yeah.
we do have a very fancy item, I think, that
We
is
do.
also going to be a part of this. All righty, yum.
In our bowls.
I really like that color.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Nice pastel.
And
Okay.
then at the restaurant, we finish it with black truffle.
All right.
So would you like to grate some
Yes,
black
I
truffle?
would.
Perfect. Just
All right.
Just
right
do it
over the
right over
soup,
this?
right over
You
the
just tell
soup,
me
yeah.
when. It's like I'm an Olive Garden server. You know, with
Perfect.
pepper.
All right.
That's
That's
good,
great.
okay. I've never held a truffle before.
What does it feel like?
It is not what I expected it to
Is
look
it, like, hard?
For how delicious
They
it
are.
tastes.
They
It's kind of
are.
a weird looking
They're
item,
pretty soft.
right? It's kind of gross, right?
But
it's gonna taste-
delicious.
It's going to taste delicious. My hands already
and
smell
not
good from
cheap,
it.
honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
How
right.
much does a truffle like this cost?
That truffle is probably somewhere around $60.
60?
Don't
Wow.
Okay, so I am just ready to try
Yeah.
this. Is
Are we
that all
time to
right?
taste?
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Please.
All righty. Ooh,
I love
tasty.
that.
Really
I don't think I've ever had corn soup before, but I
No?
really like this.
Yeah.
I like corn in all of its forms.
I've had like corn chowder, but this is lighter. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's a good vegan option. Lots of flavor from the corn.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. It's just tasty. That's wonderful.
That is so good.
Yeah, and you know, you
Just
actually
continuing.
specialize in Pacific Northwest cuisine using all these wonderful ingredients, as we mentioned. So talk to us about some other maybe underrated vegetables that you can maybe soup or not soup. What do you think?
Oh, I think so.
Should be a new segment.
You can soup a lot of vegetables. Let's see, in the summer, I love them all, but if you can get some chanterelles, those mushrooms are really great. They're not underrated, they're prized, but they're at farmers market sometimes. I mean, there's fresh tomatoes, heirloom tomatoes. They look kind of weird, but they're super delicious.
They're
so you want to
lumpy,
look for those.
right?
Yep, you want to look for that. Those are really good too. And then right now we have berries, like all our berries are coming around, and pretty soon some blackberries.
The
So.
flavor is just popping with the berries right now, too. Oh my
super
gosh,
good.
it's like prime time to eat
It
one.
is. It is.
What are some of the other standout items on the menu this summer?
Right now we're doing like a dry-aged steelhead with cherry salsa, which is pretty lovely, and some corn puree underneath it, kind of like this, but a little bit different. And we have a short rib dish with some smoked blackberries and cauliflower puree. So those are some
Nice. So
pretty
if you want to know how good the soup is, I want to share with you that when the camera pans to Chef, I'm like shoveling it in my mouth.
It's so good.
Sorry, it's a compliment.
Good. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it.
What's the best compliment you've ever gotten about your cooking?
I think someone said one time, this reminds me of what I ate when I was a kid. And so that's what food's about, right? Connecting.
Yeah, I remember when you came in and brought grilled cheese sandwiches. That was a fire day.
good day.
That was a good day on Studio 13 Live. I feel like we should do that again.
I know, right?
Kevin, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
It's been absolutely delightful. I'm going to shovel this in my mouth as soon as we are done here. We posted this recipe up on our website, fox13seattle.com/Studio 13 Live.
And hey, don't forget, Studio 13 Live is live from the King County Fair in Enumclaw tomorrow. We are riding the rides, checking out the fun fair food, of course, and all the cute animals. We'll see you then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make your day.